in the regular season. We'll discuss how the Lakers are starting to find a groove on the offensive end with Luka leading the way. We're coming right back.
Doncic, long three-pointer. That's good. And you can hear the roar. There are so many Laker fans here. J.J. Redick likes them. Doncic knocks down the three. He looks pretty darn comfortable here in the first quarter. Doncic, step back three. It's good. 19 points for Doncic. Doncic, sidestep three-pointer is good. Luka Doncic's fourth three-pointer. He's got 22 points in 19 minutes.
A beautiful night. Crypto.com Arena in downtown Los Angeles. Welcome back. Luka's production over his last 10 games. 30 points per, 41%, 37 from three, just under 9 rebounds and just under 9 assists. That's in his last 10 games. And you have seen it when Bron was in the lineup. And of course, over these last 5 games, Rob, with Bron out, just Luka's ability to run this offense at his speed and the way he's able to navigate a game is just so elite and fun to watch.
It's just so amazing how you can just fit a player in a team and it just works. And Luka just works wherever he goes because he's the type of player that can cause so much attention on the offensive end. When he's like, has the ball, you got to double team. He's like a magnet. Everybody goes to him and he's so good at finding people the perfect pass every time. When you have a guy with vision like this and the ability to score, he is an amazing player, and that means he's trouble. And so many teams try to figure out how to stop him. They put big guys on him, little guys on him. But it's hard to stop him because his game, and we just talked about his pace, he plays at his own pace, and it's unorthodox. So next thing you know, you think he's going to jump, he's still on the floor. But he's just a phenomenal athlete, and he knows how to get the job done on both ends of the floor now.
I mean, Rob, when LeBron's in there as well, the amount of open shots that the other guys are getting, and I mean wide open, is almost funny. We've laughed so many times watching the game, and the guys are even kind of making fun of it because they're just not used to being that open. Did that ever happen for you? Like with the Shaq and Kobe teams, were you that open?
Of course, man.
Even though the three wasn't as, people were shooting 40.
But you had jump shots. You dump it down to Shaq, and Shaq demanded a double team.
And he was a good passer.
And great passer. And you weren't going to leave Kobe. And then that one time we had Glenn Rice, you weren't going to leave Glenn Rice. So next thing you know, I got a wide open shot. Yeah. Me, B. Shaw, Derek Fish, and Rick Fox, we fed off of that. Those guys demand that double team. And when that happens, it makes the game so much easier for you.
Yeah. By the way, it's not easy shooting when you're wide open, right? If you think about it too much, you just got to shoot your normal routine, or is it?
It's easy.
Pot shots.
Hey, that's why we got nicknames.
Yeah. Big shot.
There you go. I'm just kidding. But easy shots, man, because it's just like being in the gym by yourself.
Yeah.
Think about how many times you practice in a gym, in an arena with nobody on you. It's just practice.
I have LeBron and Luka in that top tier passers of all time. Obviously, Magic is my one, and they're right there. Who's the best passer you ever played with that just could find you at
Man, I had the pleasure of playing with Jason Kidd for 2 games when I was in Phoenix. And I thought I was an all-star. Yeah. I had 16 points because he would find you. Yeah. He would find that crevice. He would get the rock to you. If you just run the lane, you hit that lane 45 degree, going in for layups and dunks. He was amazing. And I look at my career. He's the only true point guard I ever played with throughout my high school, college, and they make a big difference.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So, listen, I understand that Shea is probably going to get the MVP. I know he's the odds-on favorite. What he's done in Oklahoma City, the year that he's having, and the year that the team is having, the best record.
Reaves is really on a little bit of a run here in his last 3.5 games. You ask from Austin, he gives it to you.
Here he goes, throws it up and in.
I mean, this guy just scored 30 in his 4 games in 5 days. That's everything. But he's an amazing player. For him to go undrafted is unbelievable. And, it's not easy to go undrafted and then play at this level. And it's amazing just to be by his side.
Here is Reaves. Loses his man.
That's not fair.
Austin Reaves has been cooking over his last 4 games. He's averaging 31 points on 53% from the field, 43% from 3, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists. By the way, we're going to show a little love to AR with a little spicy 4. Little 4-piece. Okay? Here's one, Rob. This is AR.
It started out great by snatching that from Jokic Who got the strength now?
Rob, I thought this was the one, man. I thought this was the winner. The steal and the score. I really, truly did.
I did too, especially when you get a situation like this where a guy takes it from your star player. Everybody's in shock right now, and then you don't play good defense, and next thing you know, you get a blow by AR, get into the rack for an easy bucket.
I thought it was it. I did. One more time. I'm stronger than you, Jokic. Well, maybe not, but I'm going to take it from you. And I like the burst of speed here. A little hezzy.
I'm telling you, he is so good at shifting gears. He's very crafty. And the funny part about that wasn't fifth grip for him, but he got to the basket.
This was when he went for 45 against the Pacers. Fourth quarter magic that the place was just going crazy. No Luka, no LeBron.
No problem.
No problem.
And the thing about AR, when he has the ability to be shifty like this and get to the rack and just concentrate on finishing, he's so good. And if he doesn't concentrate on finishing, you know what's happening? He get in the and one. But right here, you saw him. Think about it. You had a crossover, you had a behind the back, and then you had a spin. Oh. What else do you do when you're dribbling the basketball?
That's crazy. He did everything you could do.
Exactly. Except for maybe in and out.
And then never used his left hand on the layup, just the one-handed layup the whole way through.
The sleepy floor right there.
Yep.
James know about that.
Oh, I love the left-handed wraparound or left-handed wraparound bounce pass. He's got both in his bag, Rob.
Yeah, he got a ton of these in his bag. We've seen that plenty of times with LeBron and other players right here. You see it to number 5, Cam Reddish, who we hadn't seen in a while.
Okay.
But okay, get on the floor, Cam. But AR is so crafty, man. You know, you think about it. He's like a little Luka. I've said this before, because neither one of them are like going to blow by you with just a crazy speed, but they're crafty enough to get by you.
Can get some contact too. Can finish.
A lot of contact.
All right. So this was Christmas Day. And this was calling game with the winner against the Warriors.
Yes,
that
great
was awesome.
blow by. Great blow by. Think about it. This is one of Golden State's, at the time, he's not on the team anymore. Wiggins, one of their premier defenders. Right here, you catch him on the wing. You say, know what? No problem. Because everybody is like thinking, oh, it's going to go to LeBron. But sometimes sneak attack. Trust me, I know about the sneak attack.
Sneak attack. By the way, I forgot Steph might have gotten a shot off here. Oh, man, game winner.
Yeah, you know, Steph is known for making full court, half court.
That light might have gone on, but no one was breathing until that thing was out. So, Rob, listen, AR has been filling in for LeBron nicely. I mean, listen, he's a starter, but I'm saying without LeBron, he becomes that, number 2, second option type of guy. And he's really filled into that role nicely. And the reason I say that is he doesn't have to be anyone else when he does it. He doesn't have to try to do, things he's not used to doing. He just plays his normal game. Yeah. And it's good enough.
Yeah. That's called veteran leadership. You know a word I hadn't used in a while?
Veteranism.
That guy has it. He played 4 years of college and he's just smart. That's what it amazed me how recruiters, GMs now, they recruit these guys on potential. Think about it. You get a guy like this who's seasoned, who's ready to go, especially on a team that's vying for a championship, not a rebuilding team, a team that's out there trying to get a chip. This is the perfect guy for you. He's been here. He's been there. He's been everywhere. So doing these travels, he's learned how to play this game. He's taking little pieces of games from everybody. You think about it. When you watch him play, you can go around a lot of vets in the league. So, he took this from this guy. He took that from guy. That means he's learning and implementing guys' games into his game. And that's the best way to be.
When they played Denver without Luka, without Gabe, without Dorian, without LeBron, without Rui, and all those guys were out, what did that show you that Austin Reaves almost won that game for the Lakers and that he kept him in the entire time?
Well, we know from the 45-point performance the other day that he can take over a game. He's so great at going out and dictating the pace. Like I said, he's a veteran there. He does what he wants to do when he wants to do it. And the other thing that I like best about him, when he's under control, he plays pretty much mistake-free basketball. When he's out of control, he tries to do a little too much. That's when he gets himself in trouble. And I think we haven't seen that. Well, I think he's learned from that because we haven't seen that in a while. He just goes under control like, who can guard me? I can get to the and one. And now with LeBron and Luka on the team, he can do so many things that won't get noticed because those two guys are going to demand double teams and a lot of attention.
You know what I love? When he goes through a bad stretch or has a bad game, I've never heard an excuse.
Oh,
I wasn't good.
You raise your hand, you own it. That's what you got to do.
Love that about him. All right, we're going to break. Lakers.
I want to give Bronny some love because we're trying to look for some positives, and he looked great tonight. He really did. He had 17 points on 7 of 10 shooting, so 70% from the field, 2 of 4 from 3. the 5 assists, and by the way, probably could have had 8 or 9 assists if a couple of bunnies would have been hit. He was dropping dimes. 30 minutes. You just got to be happy for him. And James, you said this, I think at halftime maybe, just the comfort level, right? Like you can just, it's fun to see, and we see it with all young players as they come up through the system. When you get to watch them from start to the beginning of the year where they don't, they look uncomfortable, nervous, to now it's a totally different player.
This is what he's always wanted to do when, we saw him in Cleveland, Miami, shooting hoops before the game with his dad, and after the game, he was 10, 12, he and his brother. And he's lived this life, and he wants to play. Yeah. And he can play. He's got across the board. He has skills, and he's a hard worker. He's got his dad's blood in him, and he's been working really hard. So now I think, the big show is over. He's not under the microscope as much. People were just unfairly giving him a hard time for being drafted 55th. Like, not a big deal. But then he was LeBron's son. So automatically he started getting that friction and hate from people. But now I think he's like, okay, you see him in the G League, I can play. Stepping up. I don't care who's playing on the court. He's playing against NBA players. And what I'm seeing is relaxed. He's not thinking anymore. And, it's hard for him. I can see him going to the scoring table and people like, Bronny.
I mean, they're chanting his name everywhere he goes.
It's really tough, but I think he's, let me play.
The fact that he plays under those circumstances tells me a lot about the young man. Honestly, it tells me a lot about him as a player, too. There's a lot of pressure there, right? Everyone chant your name, want you to shoot every time you touch the ball. By the way, his decision-making, I think you have to. It was really impressive.
I'll tell you guys what.
He was the lead guard out there tonight when he was on the floor.
Yeah.
He was the one making the decisions.
And I love you bring up the 5 assists. He showed us kind of a nice array. He's willing to drive, willing to hit a little teardrop, hit some threes, went to the line a little bit. I'll tell you what, before the Luka trade, so let's rewind 2 months. The number one question I got when I run into friends or just people who want to come up and talk Lakers, wherever, number one question I got was about Bronny. What's he like? What's his career arc going to be? What's his talent level? Now you add Luka Doncic. All those questions are over now. Now it's, can they win it all? So things have been upgraded as far as the big picture for the Lakers. But a lot of people were so curious about Bronny. What's he going to be like? And I've always liked talking to the kid. I think he's a good kid. He had good parenting, no ego at all that I can sense. So I'm really happy for him because it's not fair when you're just a few picks from the last pick in the draft, and people are like, "Well, how's this going to turn out? Is this what's this all about?" And he's played great. And JJ Redick kind of tipped us off a couple weeks ago, and when he said, Bronny's really improving, and I think we saw that tonight. I really liked watching him play.
Listen, all I know is what LeBron must be feeling on that bench, just watching the game.
How about
inside?
That? Yep.
It's probably a cool moment for him, too. All right, let's go back downtown. JJ Redick is speaking with Mike Trill on the media.
JJ, can you just speak to Bronny in the last several weeks or months and kind of the development that gets to the point where, looks pretty comfortable out there, leads the team in scoring and assists, and just the kind of the growth that he's shown?
Yeah. We've obviously monitored him in the G and feel like he's, in those sort of end game situations, when he's gotten a chance to play with us, he's been really good. So not surprised by tonight. And I think his confidence is growing. You mentioned the word comfort. That's certainly there for him. And I think the next step is just becoming like an elite conditioned athlete. Because when he does that with his physical tools and just his burst and his handle, and we think he's going to be an above average to really good NBA shooter. He's gonna have a chance to really make an impact.